stand there, but sure.
No, it's
plenty tall, ain't it?
oh yeah.
Coming at you live from the apocalypse.
Oh,
Where's
Lord.
my lights on? Probably over there.
Don't ask me.
You're working the camera, right?
He does all that.
Because he's gonna have to hold my hand.
He does that. He talks to all the people. I'm the long shot track
Now,
photographer.
if that thing kicks on,
What's up, Mr.
walk
Goodall?
over and hit the red switch to off. Yeah. And you see the gauge, what's it reading?
125.
Okay, it won't be long. We may get an air compressor interruption.
We're gonna let some people get in here real quick. We were gonna use the yellow out here, but there's some electricity flowing nearby and it's interrupting it. What's up, Mr. Smith? Man, Verizon is slow.
Bring it over here.
Oh yeah.
What's it do? Get to like 150 and kick on?
What's up, Sunny Broadway?
We hit the go button and it comes on, it ain't gonna be that bad.
Sorry, I have the other phone going so I can catch comments. What's up, Richard? What's up, James? What's up, Susan? But we're out here at a local machine shop, On Target Machinery. Well,
On target machine.
machining. Mr. Roy Eller here runs it. There he is. We met about 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, when I worked at O'Reilly's. He come in and I'd help him out and end up giving me a business card. And then one of our buddies that we share,
Local racer.
in Tattoo Parlor, Tattoo Terry. Some of you guys know him from the right-hand drive LS Swap GTR, beautiful car. I actually just posted it for sale last week. But we got reintroduced when I found out about these new pieces that he's starting to machine out and get going. We've been posting about them for the last week. He is the creator, the patent holder, and trademark of CheckMate Valve Covers. I'll let him discuss a little bit about what makes these things so special. If you notice, they're angled right now, like they would be on your car. There is no hardware in these things at all. Period. As you can see. We're going to let Mr. Eller discuss these with you guys and everything and show you what makes them so special and why we decided to start pushing them like we have been. Where did you come up with this design?
Well, Tattoo Terry said that you need to think about designing a LS valve cover. And we were talking about it, and we had seen, ever since I've been in racing, NASCAR, what have you, any kind of racing, a lot of guys will weld in your AN fitting. And then you're kind of restricted to the dash 12, dash 10, what have you. So that was one thing I wanted to change first. So we did a straight port, and it is ported 15 degree for a O-ring. It is 1 inch and 1/16 12 thread. And this size thread with this AN will go all the way down from a dash 6, I believe, up to a dash 14, if I remember correct. So that gives you options. be able to run multiple fittings. So we'll try. And then everybody needed a oil cap fill.
Yeah.
So I did that too. Added a oil fill cap. But something else we did is the other valve cover. And I'm not ready. Actually, it'll be a dual AN. So one valve cover comes dual AN. One comes with an oil fill cap and an AN. So went down to TKM and talked to Skinny and Cornbread, John Boy, and Kevin Mullins. And they were asking about, that was one of their big things, is they needed rocker arm clearance, oil fill cap, and AN fittings. So I knew I didn't want anything, like I said, welded in. And I knew I wanted to do a parameter, full parameter of the valve cover instead of a
because they
step down.
They match perfect right with the.
Right. So, as I was leaving TKM, prayed about it, and God gave me an idea and included these stands. And that's what made it unique. Is the stands.
We're going to flip this around real quick. I know you don't want to see my ugly face.
Or mine. So we put the stands in, and what the stands do is they locate on a boss in the valve cover. So what's also nice is we have a nice little O-ring that'll be in the valve cover to seal around this shoulder bolt, so you don't have oil coming out. So what happens is the valve cover locates on the stand. Then there's enough crush that when you tighten it, it pulls the valve cover down and tightens to the head. So try to get you a view of it going down. So we made it so that it bottoms out on the standoff, and you can tighten it as tight as you want. Let your Gorilla Strong buddy tighten it, and it's not going to buckle the valve cover.
So what you just said is they're Jarrett Bradshaw proof. The Gorilla.
Yes.
Yes.
Jarrett Bradshaw's a big man.
And my buddy Harlan, who believes in tightening bolts till they ping.
Yes. That's me.
But yes. So that's what made it unique. And this is a nice Flowtech cylinder head.
Yeah, these are one of my Flowtech LS1 small port cathedrals. But yeah, look at them little stands. This is what he was talking about, the recess in it right there.
Yep, counter bore. Plus it also locates on the shoulder of the bolt in the secondary counter bore lower. The stands are going to come pre-assembled with an M6x1 stud. All the threads have been form thread, cold form threads. Those are stronger than a cut thread, almost as good as a helical.
Yeah.
So these you want to tighten down to 144 inch-pounds, or I believe 12 foot-pounds of torque, and then you're ready to go. So to help you remember what to tighten them down to, we have engraved that into the valve cover.
And then he put a little special message in it. But yeah, those are pretty slick. The machine work, the clearance that he was talking about.
Right.
That little step.
So what we have up here is clearance for the rocker arms. Goes all the way to the gasket. And what's cool is it uses a stock factory gasket. You don't need a sledgehammer to beat it in like some of the stock ones or valve covers.
I know, I was playing with them last time I was here.
Yeah, it doesn't fall out. Yeah, mainly rocker arm clearance, and by doing the full perimeter of the valve cover, gave me the ability to back cut it to give even more clearance.
Yeah, there you can really see it.
Right through here. We also ribbed it just in case your Gorilla Strong friend overcomes the stand, so the valve cover doesn't buckle.
Now show them
But we have a heavy 60-degree angle in the bottom, because if you had a square shoulder there, oil's going to puddle up. And if the oil puddles up, if you're in between rounds in a hurry trying to lash in valves or check something, you don't want to dump oil on hot headers, or your car or yourself. So the angle helps the oil run down back into the engine, and the valve covers are taller, of course, than a factory one by a long shot. And something else about the O-ring being inside the boss is it's also surrounded by the stand. So what happens is if the O-ring did pinch or break or come out, it's not going to have an easy way of getting into the engine like the old style LS bolts that have the heavy rubber gasket that dry rots and falls off all over the place.
That's what's on mine right now. These things got a cool little trick though. Once they're on and placed, that head is completely sideways, and they stay.
So you can put them on with one hand and not have to fight lining up the bolts. Everything lines up. It lines up around the perimeter of the head, so the gasket seals, and you don't get it cocked like you do when you have the long bolts and end up with a leak and screaming between rounds. So
that's what made us like these even more, because you were able to have it that way.
Yeah. It does help when you're not having to juggle bolts and the valve cover on a hot engine.
Now these also fit really good.
Oh yes.
On that head, which are the LS3s of mine. They fit beautifully on those. I seen there's some questions in here, and I think a couple people asked the same question. Mr. Smith on here says, can the tops be personalized?
Funny you should ask. Yes, they can.
There you go. That's a cool little logo. And then somebody else asked, let's see.
There's also a bracket that's been designed that's going to locate in the counterboards of the valve cover for the guys that want to run their coil packs on top of the valve cover. For the street guys more. I was more targeting the no prep street race guys.
Edward Mosley says he's asking a deeper question. The thing anyone to do for a 4.6 engine, a Ford 4.6. I actually asked you about that.
Talked about that.
Yep.
The next one that's going to be coming out from CheckMate Valve Covers will be the Hemi Gen3 for the Eagle head. Not the Apache head, but for the Eagle head, definitely. And it's going to have some trick features in it as well. We also have something else for you Gen3 Hemi guys that I think you'll like. We are making a full billet lifter rack. MDS delete. So I didn't like the idea of having a plastic lifter rack holding my lifters in place. And if you eliminate the MDS and use a regular lifter, you've got quite a bit of wobble.
That is a lot.
That's good right there. So, uses the factory bolt. Lifter goes in there. Minimal wobble. And it has enough side to side for core shift. Got some guys running these now already. Demon Performance down in South Carolina, and my buddy John Sipple. They just made over 1,300 horse with one, and
So Dan Van Horn needs to get a hold of you.
I don't know Dan, but
He runs Modern Street Hemi Shootout.
Sure. Okay.
He's actually one of the new owners of Rockingham.
Awesome.
Him and Big Al.
Awesome.
They're putting 800 foot worth of concrete in.
But the good thing about these guys is when you tighten it down, they don't potato chip. They've been hard anodized, not just soft anodized, so they're not going to wear. And yeah, when you tighten them down, they don't potato chip where the outer lifter gets bound up.
Yeah.
But we have several other projects we're going to work on. But back to the valve covers. Went down a rabbit hole, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
It's bug.
The valve covers actually start 6061 aluminum. Big old heavy chunk.
And when he says heavy, I mean heavy. Because right here is two
Yes.
that he started. And you can see the base plates are still on them. They're not hollow at all. But yeah, these are
What did I do with the other black valve cover?
No, it's not back here.
I was wanting to show the dual ADM fitting.
He's got another valve cover.
Like I said, what we were talking about with the dual AN fitting on the valve covers.
Yeah, there's the channels for the gaskets.
Yep.
And he makes everything here in-house.
And we got one loaded up in the machine. And if anybody's interested, it's kind of cool. Show you the last operation, full operation.
Now, what's that one doing right there?
That one is deburring it, because machinists hate to deburr.
Yeah.
So we let the machine do all the work. Any chance you can when you're machining, if you can deburr everything, it just comes out much cleaner, nicer, smoother.
Sorry, the air compressor kicked on because the machines were running.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a cool little process. But yeah, we'll be offering these here. I know I'll have a set with me when I come to South Carolina. We were supposed to come to Darlington this weekend, but weather got us all called off. So we will have a set of these with us on display. We'll have these with us at Warsaw's for Clyde Ledbetter's event, February 24th at Warsaw's, South Carolina. So we'll have a set of these so people can check them out. I'll have them mounted on the heads. You guys can just come out, check them out. As soon as we get everything finalized with them, we'll get them posted up on the website. I'll share a link with that. Once everything's live, we'll start getting these things out. So watch out for the post for it. More details on them. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks, Mr. Eller.
Thank you.
For letting us come over here and show these little beauties off. So we appreciate it, everybody. We'll see you soon.